When you enable soft proofing mode, you may or may not see a significant difference in color between your original photo and the soft proofing version. This will really all depend on the profile you have selected in your soft proofing panel. Under Profile, you'll notice that right now I have HP OfficeJet Pro 8610 selected. So what I'm doing is I'm previewing what this image is going to look like using the printer and color profile embedded within that printer. The color profile embedded on most store-bought printers is going to be a lot narrower than the sRGB color space. So by default, you may have the sRGB color space selected when you switch to soft proofing mode. sRGB is the same color profile that we're using in the original. So there's no surprise that there's no difference in the colors. If you switch your color profile to the one embedded in your printer, then you'll notice a significant difference. I'll do that one more time. This is sRGB. This is the color profile embedded in my printer. You'll notice the colors are a lot flatter now. That's because our printer cannot reach the same hues that our monitor can display. If you don't want to use any of the color profiles listed in this menu, you can click Other. And then you can select the color profiles that you have installed on your computer. Typically, when you install your printer, it installs the color profiles, and that's what's going to be accessible for you in this menu over here. If you don't see them, you might have to reinstall your printer drivers. There's another important difference to pay attention to when soft proofing is enabled. Now, to illustrate this, I'll need to adjust my tone curve to purposely overexpose the highlights. So here's my tone curve, and I'm going to bring the highlights way up. Lightroom's just asking if I want to create a virtual copy before making this change. I don't need to do that because we've already created a virtual copy. And so I'm going to click Make This a Proof. And I'm going to overexpose the white areas of the image, the lighter colors, sorry. Okay, so I've purposely overexposed the highlighted areas, and you can see on our histogram, the whites have moved way over to the right. Now that I've made a dramatic change in the tone curve, there's several colors in this image which are out of the gamut of our printer's color profile. If you'd like to see which colors may not print accurately on your printer, you can hover your mouse over this icon over here. This is the destination gamut warning. Our destination is the printer. So if we click this button here, you'll notice a whole bunch of sections are highlighted in bright red. So that is the gamut warning, and these are the colors that might be misrepresented when we output this in our output device, which in this case is the HP OfficeJet 8610. Okay, so keep in mind that the printer colors will be more sensitive to gamut warnings because their color range is narrower. On the left side here, we have gamut warnings for our screen display, our monitor. Now the gamut warnings for the monitor are highlighted in blue. So if you just click this button here, you'll notice all the blue areas, and these are the gamut warnings for our monitor. So we'll just go ahead and turn both of these off for now. And I'll also right click on my tone curve and just go to flatten curve to bring it back to what it was. Another important feature worth noting is the ability to simulate paper and ink by checking off this option over here. This will take your print medium into account for the most accurate color matching possible. So this means the image and the colors we're seeing right now are very accurately depicted relevant to printing it on paper versus just looking at it through our monitor. The perceptual intent and relative intent, these options are also of some importance. If relative is selected, Lightroom will eliminate out of gamut colors but keep in gamut colors unchanged. The perceptual option, if relative is selected, Lightroom will eliminate out of gamut colors but keep in gamut colors unchanged. The perceptual option may replace a much broader range of colors by compressing the original color space to fit within the destination space. So this means you might get shifts in colors. If color accuracy is your main priority, stick with relative. Try to use some of the other adjustment options we explored earlier to bring out of gamut colors within range. If you're not too concerned with color accuracy and want more of a quick fix, you can set it to perceptual. Now that you're better acquainted with these important settings, you can turn off color proofing, and we can head over to the print module.